So, you're diving into the world of programming? First of all, that's awesome. It's this incredible space for creativity and problem solving. But let's be real for a second. It can also feel really, really tough sometimes.
You ever have that moment? You're just staring at your screen, totally stuck, and you start wondering, am I even cut out for this? Well, I'm here to tell you, you are absolutely not alone. That feeling, it's practically a rite of passage for every single developer out there.
And here's the good news. That struggle isn't just random bad luck. It can usually be traced back to a few very specific and totally avoidable traps. So today, we're going to break down the top 3 and, more importantly, show you exactly how to climb out of them. All right, let's get into it.
First up, the big one. I call this the syntax trap. This is where you get so bogged down in the tiny details, the grammar of the language, that you completely lose sight of the big picture.
Does that little voice sound familiar? It's what I call semicolon panic. It's this belief that to be a good programmer, you need this perfect, flawless memory of every single rule. But you know what? That's not what programming is about, at all.
Let's try an analogy. Think of syntax as just grammar. Yeah, the semicolons, the brackets, they're important. They're the rules. But they're just the tools. The logic? The logic is the story you're trying to tell. It's the poetry. You don't need to be a grammar expert to write a beautiful sentence, right? Same thing here. You don't need to have all the syntax memorized to solve a really cool problem.
So, how do you escape this trap? Simple. You flip your focus. Before you write a single line of Python or JavaScript, start with pseudocode. Just plain English, step-by-step, outlining your plan. Focus on the what and the why, long before you worry about the how. And when that error message inevitably pops up, see it as a helpful friend pointing you in the right direction, not as a sign you failed.
All right, let's talk about the second major hurdle, which is this almost irresistible urge to learn every shiny new technology all at once.
This has a name, It's called Shiny Object Syndrome. One week, you are all in on Python. The next week, you hear Web3 is the future, so you jump over to that. Then you see a cool tutorial on AI, and poof, you're off again. You feel like you're learning a ton, but you're not actually getting deep enough to build anything real.
I love this analogy. This approach is like trying to find water by digging 10 wells, but each one is only a foot deep. The result? You get a lot of holes, but no water. Instead, if you just dig one well that's 10 feet deep, you find what you're looking for. Depth over breadth, especially at the start, is everything.
And the outcome of this approach is so predictable. Your actual knowledge stays pretty low, but your frustration level, oh yeah, that just skyrockets. It is a surefire recipe for burnout.
The way out is through focus. Just pick one language, commit to it. I'm talking 6 to 12 months. Really truly master the fundamentals, the variables, the loops, the functions. And then, the fun part, apply that knowledge by building stuff you actually care about. That's how you dig that deep well.
And that leads us perfectly into our third and final mistake, which honestly might be the toughest one because it's all in our heads. It's perfectionism. It's the paralyzing fear of seeing that red error message.
That's the voice, right? That little nagging doubt that tells you every error is proof that you're just not good enough. And that fear, it makes you procrastinate. It makes you afraid to finish projects. And sometimes it makes you want to quit altogether. But we have to reframe this. We have to. What if errors are not failures at all? What if they're just feedback? They're clues. I mean, think about a baby learning to walk. They fall down constantly, but they don't think, well, guess walking isn't for me. No, every single fall is just a piece of data teaching their brain about balance. Your code errors are doing the exact same thing for you.
And hey, if you think you're alone in this, get this. Professional software engineers, I'm talking the folks at Google and Apple, spend the vast majority of their time debugging. Fixing things that are broken is the job.
So, to beat this fear, you have to give yourself permission to be imperfect. Seriously, write the messy first draft just to get your ideas out. You can always clean it up later. Use tools like Git so you can experiment without being terrified of breaking everything. And hey, maybe even keep a bug journal to write down what you learned from every error you squash.
So, there you have it. The 3 biggest traps that catch beginner programmers. Now, let's tie this all together into a brand new, much more powerful mindset for learning to code.
It really all boils down to this. This is your new cheat sheet. You're going to shift from obsessing over syntax to focusing on problem solving. You're going to go from learning everything at once to building deep, solid knowledge. And please, instead of fearing errors, you're going to embrace them as your greatest teachers. This shift in perspective is absolutely everything.
If you take only one thing away today, let it be this. The goal isn't to be perfect. Every single expert out there was once a beginner who struggled. The real goal is just to be persistent, to show up, to learn, and to keep going. Persistence beats perfection every single time.
So, I'll leave you with a question to chew on. After hearing all this, what's the very first mistake you're going to give yourself permission to make on your coding journey? Go make it. Thanks for tuning in.